how have you saved your company money? Or how have you made them more money? How have you retained their clients, right? How have you built relationships that have been useful for that company, right? How have you saved them time? How have you improved the process?
While I was still doing my master's, right, I got 2 jobs, 2 tech jobs. Go on LinkedIn, you will see people that are working in that same company. Feel free to chat them up, say, please, I like what you are doing.
And you don't know how to relax because you're just used to being uptight, right? So these are challenges that people actually face. They don't know how to relax in an interview.
When I came to the UK here, I just decided to start doing journal publication, not knowing that those things will come to, help me at some point in my career.
How can one kind of convert their skills to fit in when applying for a job in the UK?
And that's what I tell my clients every time. I want somebody to see your CV and say, no, we have to hire this person. And usually by the time I finish with their CV, they're like, I can't believe this is me.
You can even build a tech hub yourself. I founded the BCS at University of Salford. When I did that, I never knew that those things would come to play for me.
In fact, remove the biases that are against you. I make my clients focus on business outcomes because that's what matters to the next employer.
You need to do a lot of work more than people that we are born here.
Okay, let's get it rolling. Guys, thank you so much for clicking this video. Thank you for coming back to the channel. We are continuing our tech series where we bring seasoned professionals to come and educate us, to enlighten us, to advise us, and to give us more information on the best way to go. So today we are talking about career transition and skill adaptation for immigrants in the UK. And I have here my brother Andrew Nwanakwaugwu. Andrew, just introduce yourself for just 1 minute.
Oh, you have just reminded me my graduation day. The way the mother people son them, but it's all right. Hi everyone. My name is Andrew Nwanakwaugwu. I am a Nigerian. MBCS to be precise, born and bred in Aba, currently living here in Manchester, UK. I came in as a student, then switched to the post-study, 2 years post-study, and now on the UK Global Talent Visa. Yeah? I don't know if I need to say some other things.
Yeah. You are a career coach and so many other things as well.
Okay.
All right. Then we also have Benedicta Johnson. Yeah, just introduce yourself, Benedicta.
Hi everyone. My name is Benedicta Johnson O. I am a career coach and the author of the book How Dare You. I've been doing this for a few years. I started off with helping people transition into tech, and then moved on to helping immigrants specifically to navigate the UK job market. And now I mostly work with women to help them transition fully to their role, to find roles that fit them specifically or fit their lifestyle. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Welcome. Right. Okay. Andrew, let me start with you. Yeah, this is a very sensitive topic to say, and I think it's an area a lot of people struggle with. Me, I happen to move from an engineering to tech, and I understand how difficult it was, and I can trace this to, I will say, the Nigerian society, which is so complex. And before you finish secondary school and university, even after finishing university, a lot of people are still struggling on probably where they want to go to. Sometimes it can depend on maybe where you have somebody, your uncle, your brother, cousin, they just like, anywhere there's something they just push you into. Probably it's not even something that you love, but because you are looking for money, you want to survive, you just have to navigate to that area. So first of all, how can someone that really wants to, maybe someone that have a clear idea or plan of, okay, this is where I'm going to, how can they stay focused and continue in that path?
Okay, yeah. Thank you for that question. First of all, you mentioned someone that finds what you need to discover, okay, what you like doing, right? And that thing you like doing, what do you need to be good at for you to do well? Let's say if you want to do data science will require you to probably be good in maybe mathematics or be good in coding, right? So find out, okay, that thing you like, do you have the potential, right? Are you good at it, right? So once you discover, okay, I like this, and I'll have maybe the basic skills required, right? So you try to do what? Try to have network of people that are into that area, for you to be focused, people that can always guide you, put you through, right? There are so many communities. Like myself, I joined the National Association of Computer Science Students, right? We did so many events, and that, as you attend those events, you will also hear things that will, encourage you, keep you motivated, right? Even it's not easy, even when it gets difficult. I could remember when I started starting from QBasic. We already know in Nigeria we start with QBasic, right? Like it will get difficult at some point. Even sometimes simple error will make your code not to run. But if you have mentors, people around you, listen to podcasts like this, like that will encourage you. These are some of the ways you can stay focused, right? Don't limit yourself. There are so many opportunities. Even in Nigeria, some people are working for US companies while they are still in Nigeria, right? See all these things, see the positive part of it, and then challenge yourself, because every challenge is there to charge you for a positive change.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Every challenge is there to charge you for a positive change. Yeah, I love that. Right, Benedicta, you've worked with a lot of immigrants, trying to help them, to transition. What are the kind of challenges that you face working with these people, like the skills and qualification when they try to integrate into the UK job market?
Sorry, for most people, I wouldn't say, the challenge is mostly mental, right? And many people seem to think that it's because they don't have a UK work experience on their CV and all that. And this thing goes round. And yes, to an extent, that is true, right? But this thing goes round, and most people think that's the problem to solve, but not really. That's not the main problem, right? From my standpoint and my expertise and experience, I would say that most of the problem would be cultural integration, right? Like cultural awareness. People not purposely inserting themselves in places where they would learn the British culture, right? Learn it in a way that they're able to play in different scenarios, right? Whether it's through volunteering, whether it is while maybe you were a student when you came here, or you came here on a global talent visa, whatever it is, like putting yourself in places that will force you to learn the British culture, so that when you show up in whether an interview or when you're writing your CV, you would understand the context to use. I'll give you an example. Many challenges that people face when they move to a new country or move here to the UK is, maybe in Nigeria they were a big fish, right? And you come here and you're getting all these rejections, and it's like, wait, was it not me that did these things before? Why am I not? Why is nobody calling me? They are faced with that harsh reality, right? And it's a very difficult pill to swallow, especially when you think, hey, I came here on a global talent visa. I am a big deal.
Yeah.
Right. So for most people, it's they don't get that your skill sets are valid, right? You may not need to take on an extra course. You may not need to do anything extra. You just need to learn the right language to use, right? So maybe what you used to do in Nigeria, they call it a certain name. Let's say they call it project officer, right? And this is like finding the most basic stuff. And maybe here they call it project manager, or they call it project coordinator. And you've not put those two things together. You keep writing project officer on your CV. And your company, do you understand? And that's what your company calls it doesn't mean that's what it's called in every other place, right? So look for the actual terms that people are using here in the UK and use those terms on your CV. Then we're also from a culture that's quite uptight, right? People show up to interviews and they're like this. It's like, because in interviews in Nigeria, everybody's serious like this, except, well, with startups now, things are getting better. But most Nigerian interviews, everybody's so stuck up. So you show up to an interview with a British person and they're saying, hey, how are you? And you don't know how to relax because you're just used to being uptight, right? So these are challenges that people actually face. They don't know how to relax in an interview. And whether we like it or not, the British people like to talk about weather, right? They like to talk about simple things first. And maybe they don't really want to make conversation with you, but if somebody likes small talk, you start with small talk. You learn it. It's an art, right? So you start with things like that and genuinely show interest. Research the person and all of those things and show up in that conversation a bit more relaxed and like you are a part of the culture, right? That also helps them to relax as well and then think you are one of them. Right. So these are the things I've noticed that people generally face. Having a UK company on your CV will not do much if you show up to that interview like a person that just came to the UK yesterday. Right. Yeah. So those are the kind of it's mostly cultural intelligence that I've found is like the biggest thing for immigrants, and the confidence to navigate these things. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I think I completely believe that. I've had an opportunity of talking with someone and he keeps getting interview, but he cannot convert it. So I was telling him, you have opportunity to have all these interviews, which a lot of people don't normally get. So conversion is your problem. There's something wrong with you being able to convert and win an interview. And when you started mentioning some of these challenges, it just takes my mind back to the confidence, the terms you are using, what is included in your CV, and so many other stuff. Okay, thank you. Andrew, in respect to some of these challenges, in your process coaching someone, how can you help the person to overcome some of these basic challenges, probably if you even believe on some of the things Benedicta mentioned?
Okay, I do like two types of coaching. Which coaching are you referring to now? Is it like how to land a role in the UK or how to get a UK Global Talent Visa?
Okay, basically about transitioning to a career and not the UK Global Talent Visa. Let's talk about the job aspect now.
Okay, yes. Benedicta has already mentioned some of the soft skills required, right, if you want to, land roles. But in addition to that, I want to also mention that people should learn how to create portfolios, right? Portfolios is very, very important. Whether you do it in Nigeria or here in the UK, if you're able to say show employers that, okay, I've done this and this is how I did it, right? You can go ahead. There are so many platforms, maybe GitHub, right? Have those things there, and it will show the date you did it, right? So that employers, you can give employers access. You can put the link to your GitHub on your CV, so that before the interview, the employers on their own will have a look at what you have done so far, right? And also trying to upskill yourself. Upskilling is very, very important. Upskill yourself. What I did when during my time is what I went to all these job websites like Indeed, LinkedIn, right? I looked at what the job description. So I advise people to do that. Look at job description. What are the skills the employers are looking for, right? Make sure you have those skills. If you don't have it, please go and start upskilling yourself. I would say that one of the things that helped me while I was still doing my master's, right? I got 2 jobs, two tech jobs. I would say one of the things that helped me is what this kind of thing I'm mentioning now. And as at the time, I also had what AWS skill, AWS certification, right? So I could remember during one of my interviews, I think that was my interview with Accenture, right? I mentioned that, and the interviewer was interested in, like, in hearing more about my skill within that area, cloud skill, cloud skills and stuff like that. So I was able to explain some stuff, technical stuffs. I think that is one of the things that helped me land some of the jobs I've landed. So I encourage people to please upskill themselves, right? Build a good network of people, right? Have a mentor. Feel free to, if you are interested in working for any company, right? Go on LinkedIn, you will see people that are working in that same company, right? Feel free to chat them up, say, please, I like what you are doing, right? And I'm interested in this kind of career, right? Is there any way you can mentor me, guide me, right? I will be interviewing in your company. What do you think are the basic skills I need for this kind of roles? People, if you do it like up to 10%, not everybody will respond, but up to, let's say, 80% of the people you chat will respond to you, okay? So these are some of the things you can do. And also tech events. Myself, I coach people as well, like how to land roles, right? What I do is to introduce them to some of the tech events I attend. When I'm attending, I'll call you, are you available? Let's go. BCS events, right? So, and also other tech events. So make sure that you are able to, if you are looking for a role, please endeavor to attend all those job fairs, tech events. You will meet with employers, right? You will be able to meet with employers. Even sometimes the employers will say, announce to the public, to the crowd there, that okay, they are looking for somebody with so skills. Please, if you are interested in this kind of role and you have the skill, please reach out. It's a lot easier if you can, do it. There are so many ways to kill a rat without shedding blood. Yeah. Let me just stop at this point. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Benedicta, can you share some example of kind of your successful career transition among your clients? Like maybe what are the basic steps you go through the process before someone becomes successful?
Okay, so it depends on the sort of transition the person is trying to make. Generally, with transitions, I generally like to focus on your strengths, your skills, and the sectors you're interested in. So let's say I've had people that have transitioned. I've had clients that have transitioned from law to product management, from digital marketing to BA, right? Psychology to UX research, things like that. Now, ideally, when I look at those 3 things, whether your strengths, your skills, and all, your strengths would mean your core strengths as a person. Sometimes for the skills part, we would ideally look for skills, like transferable skills from every role, right? But with your strengths, it will be your core, who you are, and what you can bring to the role as a person without your skills first, right? So understanding who you are first gives you a sense of confidence, because transitions are hard when you're transitioning from one role to another. So we first have to establish that part and what suits you as a person, not just what you desire, right? Sometimes you're just going for anything you desire because, hey, this role is hot in the market but you will do it 6 months and then you don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. We don't really want that. I like sustainability, or even doing something. You can start off with something and grow into something else later. So I like to look for low-hanging fruits first. And this is an example. A client of mine she was a digital marketer. She wanted to go she upskilled as a business analyst. And when she came to me, I said, I know that you can do this thing, right? But you did your master's in data science. What you've had all these years in digital marketing, and you did that very well, rather than go to BA, why not let's combine data science with your digital marketing background and make it growth marketing. And she was like, oh, is there a thing as that? I was like, yeah, there's that. You would need data for this part of it, this aspect of it. So you can combine these two things and do it well. And this person, for every time she applied, she got like, for every 3 applications she made, she had an interview.
Wow.
Right? Because I believe strongly in using your skills or what you used to do before. You cannot, if you have 10 years of experience, you can't just throw it away and say, just because now everybody says you should go and do cybersecurity, you want to just run and throw away all of that skills. Yes, you can still upskill in cybersecurity, but then if you had skills the past 10 years, maybe as an operations manager or something, we combine those things together. That puts you as a stronger candidate. We think about the sectors you've worked at, right? Maybe you used to work in health tech or you used to work in fintech or something. We will now look for maybe fintech companies that are looking for cybersecurity and professional, things like that. So that way we're able to combine these different things you bring to the table that makes you a unique candidate rather than vying for the same role as every other person in the same way. So basically bringing a mix of your skills, your strengths, and the sectors that are right for you first as low-hanging fruits, and then build a strategy from there. So as we use that, you start to convert faster and quicker. I hope that explains it well.
Okay, great. Yeah, Andrew, Benedicta mentioned kind of combining careers to elevate or push oneself. You as a global talent visa, now we're coming back to the global talent visa aspect where you coach a whole lot of people. You happen to meet someone trying to get the global talent visa, but you discover that they are in an area that is completely out of the niche. How do you encourage them? Okay, fine, it's not something you can combine, but yeah, how do you try to talk to them, encourage them, or what do you do in respect to that?
Okay. Yeah. I encounter so many persons with similar situation that are, number one, there are so many criteria you need to satisfy, right? You have the mandatory criteria and 4 optional criteria. You're expected to choose 2 optional criteria, making it 3 distinct, right? 3 criteria you need to satisfy with your evidence, at least maybe 2 evidence for each, making it minimum of 6 evidence and maximum of 10 evidence you need to provide, right? So if you are not, let's say you are not working for a product-led company, right? Number one, let me make this clearer. Following the, there are different endorsing bodies, but let me, for example, if I have to give an example from the Tech Nation guideline, the Tech Nation states that if you are a technical person working for non-technical company, you are eligible, right? Non-technical person working for a technical company, like product-led company, you are eligible. But non-technical person, right, working for non-technical company is not eligible, right? So how do you become eligible? There are so many other options. If you, let's say you don't have much of technical evidence, you can go into journal publication, right? A journey of 1,000 kilometers starts with a step. If you don't have it today, it doesn't mean that you won't have it in the next 1 year or in the next 6 months, depending on where you are in your journey. You can start doing journal publication. You might have those skills, but you never thought that they can be helpful to you at any point. But you can pick up those skills, start doing journal publication. From there, you can review, right? I started doing research right from when I was doing my Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Engineering, right? So, but I was not like fully into journal publications, but I know I did one journal publication that was in 2016. But I had so many research I've done Like I do it for fun. In fact, sometimes I will help people. I help some of my lecturers in their PhD work and stuff like that. You get, yeah. But those things, those experience, when I at some point when I came to the UK here, I just decided to like start doing journal publication, not knowing that those things will come to help me at some point in my life, in my career, right? But when I applied, I had up to like 8 journals, right? So
Wow.
one can start doing so many these things. You don't need to get employed for you to start doing those journal publications, right? And another option is to look for what job within the what product-led companies. If you have those skills, right? Even if you are not a technical person, you can get a job in product-led companies that will get you eligible. Apart from that, there are so many volunteering opportunities in UK and other places, other parts of the world. But mind you, not all the volunteering opportunities are what eligible, right? Following these are some of the gray areas in what Tech Nation guideline and even other endorsing body guideline. Please make sure you volunteer in a eligible place. Like it has to be a structured program. Like let's say you are volunteering in a place, you are a mentor, it has to be what? A structured program. What do I mean by a structured program? A structured program from the Tech Nation explanation is what? The body must have what? Selection criteria, right? For taking people, and also must be maybe funded by government or individuals and stuff like that. And for you to be selected, there must be what? A criteria as well. These are some of the gray areas, right? So one can start doing stuff like that. By the time you start doing it, you see yourself having gathering those evidence, right? Open source programs, you can get involved. You don't need a policeman, or you don't need anybody to get involved in open source projects. If you have those skills, you can go and contribute, Stack Overflow, even something maybe on GitHub, right? You can make your open source contributions, right? You can even build a tech hub yourself. I could remember during my time, I funded the BCS at University of Salford. When I did that, I never knew that those things will come to play for me at any point in my life. But it's something I like doing. When I was in Nigeria, I was the assistant secgen, like during my first degree, assistant secgen for what? For this thing, for computer engineering students, right? So, and I bet so many things. In fact, I represented the state at some point at Abuja. The first, I think that was my second time of going to Abuja, right? So many of these things, you can start doing them. If you have not done such thing, please start doing it. And another thing, Google your name. At some point, I Googled, I searched to see if I could get, somebody said it on one of the YouTube videos, right? I said I should check if you have any mention of your name, right? I checked, not knowing that even some companies, some bodies like mentioned my name, talking about the positive impact of my work to to the community and to within the tech space, right? These are some of the things I encourage people, and there are so many opportunities, right? I introduced to some of my clients as well, which also help them, increase their chances. So you don't need anybody, but it's easier if you have network. If you can do it, if it's possible, get in touch with somebody that can, put you to, especially somebody that have gone through all these stages. That just in a nutshell, these are some of the things I do to, help some of my clients. Yeah,
okay. Thank you. All right, Benedicta, let's go back to where you mentioned UK employers and work experience. I'm looking at a situation, one has developed some skills in, let's say, Nigeria, and is coming back here. First of all, how can one kind of convert their skills to fit in when applying for a job in the UK? And two, when you are looking at UK employers, do they really consider sometimes maybe where someone is coming from like looking back at your CV and feel like, oh, this one doesn't really have a UK work experience and all that. Okay, I'm not going to take this person. Let me go with someone that have a UK work experience. How can one navigate all these challenges?
I mean, I do agree that there are some biases sometimes towards people from a different country, sometimes with names even. Like I always tell my clients, let's simplify the name. If it's going to be difficult for somebody to pronounce, when you get to the top, you tell them you call me Oluwayemisi or anything, right? But when you are starting from the bottom, you tell them, please call me Yemisi or call me Yemi. Do you understand? Make it as simple as possible for people to speak to you, right? Or shorten shorten any, in fact, remove the biases that are against you. But for people with Nigerian experience, I actually think a lot of the people I've worked with, a lot of the clients I've worked with actually have Nigerian experience or Indian experience or Chinese experience, right? These people are from different countries. They don't have any UK experience, but we work together to ensure that they all have jobs. What I mean is, if you write your CV in a way that tells this person I am valuable, then you're going to get the job. Well, aside you interviewing and showing up well, but your CV is the first thing they see before they get to meet you. So you want to make a great impression with your CV. Whether you worked in Nigeria or you worked wherever in the world, what the employer is looking for is somebody that can add value, somebody that can solve the problem. Because whether we like it or not, a role opens up because there's a problem or there's something they need to sort out. That person, there's a need that needs to be filled, right? So when there's a need, they're just looking for the best man for the job. In some cases, yes, as I said, there are biases, but again, we are working to reduce the bias the biases against you.
That's right.
Now, I focus on a CV that is more, that positions you as a doer than like more proactive than reactive. What I mean is this: for every role you've done, I look at things like achievements. Let's bring together achievements. When I say this, people are like, no, I don't have anything. I don't know anything. But then I sit them down and I run them through a list. I have a long list, but these are some of the things I use. How have you saved your company money? How have you helped? Have you saved them money or have you made them more money? How have you retained their clients, right? How have you built relationships that have been useful for that company, right? How have you saved them time? How have you improved the process? All of these different things, right? There are things that we can start to, that help you to think through your experience. And then we start to write all of these things down. And then I now create a CV. What I mean is, when I say proactive or doer over reactive, rather than say responsible for, that takes a passive tone. I use a system I call action, task, result. Sometimes, yeah. So it's like, what action did you take? And you start with a strong verb. Let's say achieved or led. So rather than start with collaborated, if you start a sentence with collaborated, it means that you did it with different people. Yes, they want to know that you did it with different people, but they are more concerned about you. It is your CV, it is not the team CV, right? So you want to start with, rather than collaborated, how about coordinated or achieved, blah, 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 blah. You can then at the end can be by collaborating with team XXX to do blah. But the point is, you want to position it very well. So I usually have like an achievement section, right? And tailor it to the job that you're looking for. I don't believe in lying on your CV, right? But I believe in presenting you so well and so powerfully that when somebody sees it, they're like, oh no, this person needs to be on our team. And that's what I tell my clients every time. I want somebody to see your CV and say, no, we have to hire this person. And usually by the time I finish with their CV, they're like, I can't believe this is me, right? Because sometimes when you're too close to your results, you can't see what you have done.
Yeah.
Or we know how to downplay our results a lot. Till somebody tells you, no, that's a big deal. You've done big stuff, right? So every any person at all, if you are as long as you're a career person, I will advise you every time you do something at work, start to write down your wins. It may not be a big deal, because sometimes the things we hold on to wins are actually personal wins, they're not business wins. I make my clients focus on business outcomes because that's what matters to the next employer. So whether you did it in Nigeria or you did it in China, the fact is you've done it before. It means you can do it again. And that's a bet an employer is willing to take than somebody that's never done it before, right? So the whole point of it is you articulating what you've done well. So sit down, start to write stuff you've done. How did you save company money? How did you make them more money? How did you do? Don't think about it from a personal standpoint. Think about it from what did the business get because of you? Anybody at all, down to somebody at the front desk, you are doing something for the business. So some people think, I don't have anything. No, I was just at the front desk. Or no, if you were not welcoming, the clients would not even find their way upstairs to see the MD, right? If you did not make the place presentable, there are so many different ways, right? If your customer experience or customer service was not on point, nobody would be coming there, right? So there are many things because again, we have made our wins or the things we've done so little, we don't see them as anything. It doesn't have to be in the UK. What you've done, you've done. Take it, package it well, and then present that well on your TV and in an interview, and I guarantee you that you would get a call.
Okay. All right. I'll still put this to you. When there's still stress on UK work experience, what does this really mean for someone? Because that language looks a bit scary to someone that is applying and is coming from China, India, or Nigeria. And you keep saying this thing in almost so many applications, UK work experience. Like, how do you work with clients in respect to that?
Okay, I would like to see the data where an employer actually sends people an email saying, unfortunately, you don't have UK work experience, so we can't hire you. A lot of people say it. And I said there are biases. I'm not going to lie, there are biases. But when people say these things, it's because people now have something in their head as a blocker. There are a lot of people that have come here and have gotten first-time jobs, and they were working in Nigeria. They did not have UK work experience. I had a client, right, that was, she was a student. She studied data science. Before then, she used to work at one of Interswitch in Nigeria. And so when she was like, she doesn't have UK work experience, I said, it's fine. Let's package what you've done and put it well. And after doing her CV, by the next week, she started to get calls, right? Some didn't take her because they didn't want to sponsor. But in less than 90 days, she actually got a job that's sponsored. Do you understand? And this person never had any UK work experience. What I'm trying to say is, if you are valuable, that is all that matters. Yes, if you can get UK work experience, go ahead and get it. If you can get it as a volunteer, go ahead and get it. It does help because you have learned the system and the language of the place. So that helps you. But it should not be your core focus, and it shouldn't be a mental block that now makes you not see opportunities. Or talk yourself out of opportunities because you feel you don't have UK work experience. Whatever you have is good enough. Start where you are. If you need to upskill. Whatever you need to do it. But in the end, as I said, if you've done something well before, they are willing to take their bet on somebody that's done something well before than somebody that just puts a UK job but is not related to what they need. Okay. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So it doesn't really matter. Being able to articulate, again, is the cultural aspects of things. If you've worked in a UK company before, it makes it easier for them to relate to you. They think that you've assimilated into the culture. So for them, it's just easier for them to talk to you, or easier for them to relate to you, or easier for you to understand the UK market. But if you make them understand that, hey, I've done this before, I understand the way the market operates. So it's you that, how do I put it? It's you that is inspiring confidence in the person you're speaking to. But if you go, imagine me showing up in an interview, I'm sitting like this and making you think you want to do me a favor by hiring me. And then you are doing everything to make me feel comfortable, yet I'm still like this and looking timid, right? Then compared to another person that shows up, sits up straight and starts to have an actual chat with them, right? Beyond interviewing, but just like engaging them. Who would they remember? The person that engaged them.
Yeah.
The person that asked good questions, the person that spoke well. Because they are not in your head to know what you've done or what you've not done. And so it is up to you to accurately represent what you've done.
Yeah.
To show them, see, these are the connections, right? And so having done this here, I'm able to do it here. Because I don't even put UK, like some people go ahead to put UK, Nigeria on their CV, like the company UK. And I don't even put that. I don't tell my clients to put it either. I just, again, as I said, articulate what you've done so well. And I convert the figures. If you saved money in Naira and it was 10 billion Naira, and you did it in 2021 or you did it in 2018, I convert using the currency of that time, right? Exchange rate of that time. I convert it to dollars or to pounds or whatever. Dollars is it's more general because most people know what it is. I convert it to that amount and I put it there, right? So that we are using a context that everyone can relate to.
Okay.
So that takes it away from UK or this thing now. And at that time, they are not going to check whether the company is in UK or not. When they are interviewing you for the first stage, they're actually not going to check whether the company is in UK. Their concern is, do you meet the lowest requirements for the role?
All right. Thank you. Okay. Andrew, are there any resources or support systems available in the UK to help immigrants adapt their skills and transition into this new career?
Yes, there are loads of opportunities, loads of resources available, right? It just like telling yourself, I want to do this, and then working towards it. I like using myself as an example, right? Because I've gone through these stages, right? I came here for my master's. I know what it means, how it feels being an international student, trying to like get job, right? And trying to not just every job, but a job with sponsorship, right? You need to do a lot of work more than people that we are born here, right? So
valid point.
On the process of researching, connecting with people, I discovered so many opportunities, so many resources. One of them, I don't know if you know about Bright Networks.
Yeah.
Bright Network is one of the programs I know that really helped me. I jumped into it a few months after I came to I think I registered with Bright Network like 3 months of being in the UK. Right. The next couple of months, there was internship
experience.
Yeah, 3 days experience. Yes, I did it. I told myself I had shifts those days because then I was doing menial jobs as well, studying part-time. So I had to cancel all my shifts to make sure that I attend. Right. Yeah, like those 3 days, I did it. In fact, I was even part of the leaders of the team. Like I led my team. Right, I decided to do it because I know that this thing is going to like help me learn about UK, get know how people how they work here, how things work here, and it did. Right, to the extent after this thing, they nominated me as one of their ambassadors. So as an ambassador, what did I do throughout those times? I also I help in telling other international students, other people. Like not only international students, everybody interested to tell them about Bright Network. It's a free program. You are not paying any dime, right? The program is still ongoing. People can still feel free to Google about them, register. Look at once you register, they will be sending you even job opportunities. They will be giving you information about maybe when the next internship program will be and stuff like that. Right. So my work with them help people register, tell people about this thing, about the Bright Network and stuff like that, right? So the experience really helped me, in like building some of the soft skills and also learning about some companies that sponsor. First of all, then before I apply, I check, please, does this company sponsor, right? So, and the Bright Network also helped me to know the kind of company that sponsor companies like Lloyd's, Deloitte, Lloyd's Bank, Accenture, my current company now. That's where I learned about Accenture, right? When I started learning about when I learned it, like I discovered that even some Nigerian friends, guys, where we are already even working with Accenture. Like I had to go online, Google on LinkedIn, search for people working in Accenture. Oh, luckily for me, I saw some persons. I reached out to them. How is it working there? Is it, is there work-life balance? Stuff like that. Because this not only the money, work-life balance is very, very important in anything you do, right? So there are a couple of resources. I've mentioned already about job fairs. This is another opportunity as well. Where you learn about different jobs, right? Different job opportunities. You can get in touch with employers. If they like your profile, what you can do, they will take you immediately. I know some persons that have gotten job through that medium, right? Apart from that, attending those tech events help a lot. Myself, I'm a community person. I'm a beneficiary of this, right? Because when I was in Nigeria, I was a member of National Association of Computer Science Students, right? I know the benefits. I have tested it. I know the benefits. So when I came to the UK, there was nothing like that in my uni. I had to fund it. I funded it in my uni, support, right? And this community have really helped a lot of people gain job. At some point, people will be sharing their testimonies. Like, if I give you, like, if you read through my chat, you see a lot of them. They say, Andrew, thank you for telling us about this. We share opportunities. There are so many opportunities. Apart from the BCS, I also belong to one other, WhatsApp group chat where people share, about job opportunities, stuff like that. So try to get information about those things. No man is an island. Like, try to link with people like pursuing the same thing, or people that have gone through the same process you have gone through. Community, networking is very, very important. Even when you get the role, you need that network. You need that network of people. In fact, you need to be good at networking with people, right? There are so many information, especially for the fact that you are new in the country. You will be facing with a lot of challenges. The intonation, like I know the intonation is different from people that were born here, right? I know, but I keep trying every day, trying to learn, right? So there are so many challenges. Please, don't allow that challenge to weigh you down.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Let it be charge you for a positive change.
Hello. Oh, it's breaking. Okay. I think you are back now. Right. Okay. My last questions for Benedicta. With the rise of artificial intelligence, so many tools, a lot of recruiters are, as we all know, they are passing CVs under these systems. And there are a lot of bias, and because these are trained by humans, probably the British or whatsoever. If you are working with someone on a CV and they happen to meet a recruiter that is passing this CV through an AI tools, what could be the success rate?
Could you please repeat the end part? I didn't hear the end because you were breaking.
If you are working with someone and they happen to apply for a job and a recruiter is passing your CV on these AI tools or models, what would be the success rate?
So sometimes I test my CVs to see how well they are. I can check. Sometimes I use I think Resume Worded. I can use I do some platforms to check, right? And I say you're at 100%. You don't need to do anything else, right? Just so that I'm not drinking my own Kool-Aid. I'm actually checking myself to be sure that I did a good job. Okay, so that aside, right? This usually what they use for passing on the other side, like the recruiter side, is applicant tracking system. Now, it's mostly for anything like that. It is, I mean, for any company that uses it, whether greenhouse, lever, jazz, HR, freshworks, all of that. It is based on the particular role. Now, when a hiring manager says, I want to hire an operations manager or project manager, right? The recruiter comes up with something and the person says, yes, this is exactly what I want. They put specific keywords in that job description. And then they use it in their own applicant tracking system to ensure that it screens based on that. So it will screen the CV based on this information. Look for people that have, let's say, people that have 10 years of experience in projects. Look for people that have project management, agile project management, maybe specifically Scrum, Kanban, all these different things. Look for these specific people, right? So maybe 20,000 people applied for the job. The ATS may now reduce it based on the criteria it was given to, let's say, 1,000 people or to 200 people. Then the 200 now gets in the hands of an actual human being that looks through and says, okay, ATS has done this sifting. Let me look now. This is what I want. This is what I want. And then they further reduce it to maybe 50 or maybe 20 people and then call those 20 people, right? So sometimes, I mean, you can try to beat the game by ensuring when you look at a job description, I teach my clients how to analyze a job description. Look through and look at keywords, specifics, kind of like what Andrew mentioned earlier. I do it and I tell my clients to do it. If you're interested in a project management role, right, go and look at 20, even 50 job descriptions and see what they're asking for. Now, when we now go to the specifics, maybe you want to apply for a project manager role as Salt Pay or Stripe. Stripe will probably ask for specifics. Look at all those things. Do you have them? Right? You don't have to meet it up to 100%. I mean, the job market is now competitive. Before, I would say 70%, but now aim for 85 even, or 87 or 90 if you can. But look at them, and if you feel like there are specific skills you have, but then they're not on your CV is a moving document. Edit it, add those things, because the person is not in your head to know that this thing, you actually have it, but it's not on your CV. So you only get that one opportunity to make an impression. And if that thing they're asking for, you have it, don't be lazy. Just go and put it to increase your chances. So that way you are shortlisted. And then the rest you can use mouth to finish. But try as much as possible to mirror what it is they're looking for.
Okay. And
sometimes, right, even when you do that, you may not get it. So I generally do this. You can ask, I mean, sometimes they try not to answer because of legal issues. People can sue them and whatnot. But if you ask some recruiters after interviewing them, what was it? Why wasn't I chosen? Right? I always encourage people to ask questions. When you ask, sometimes it is that you actually are good. You're quite good. The difference between you and that other person may be one simple thing. Sometimes it may be that the person communicates better than you. Sometimes it may be that the person maybe has more niche experience than you, and that's probably going to be useful in that role. They want the person to hit the ground running. You have 2 years, the person has 5 years. Go figure, they're taking 5 years. Right? So sometimes it's not about you sometimes. Because we tend to beat ourselves up and think, I tried everything. Yeah, sometimes you actually try everything. Not every job is for you. You're only looking for 1 yes. Right? So be okay with the no's. It hurts. You feel bad, but it's not self-rejection. It's not a rejection of who you are or your person. It is just what it is. It's competitive. So as I said, sometimes it may be a simple thing that made them pick another person over you, and there's nothing you could have done. But as much as it's possible, when you see a job description, try to mirror. If you have those skills, so don't lie. If you have the skills, try to mirror what they have written and call it what they have called it. So you can't, if they say the person should understand learning experience, for example, and you know you did a bit of learning experience in your previous role, but it's not nowhere on your CV. Add something to it. So I always use a document where it's like you have the saved one, but always go back to edit the other one. So I show my clients how to do it. Even sometimes it's the title. Simple as the title. The ATS will reject if you don't use the same title. Mirror their title. They called it, let's say, inbound sales representative UK. Please call it that on your CV. Just do it. Just do it. So maybe right after your name, the part where you write your title, put that there. It will save you a lot. Because when it is picking, it is looking for that title as well on your CV. And if you don't have that title on your CV, you're not going to get picked. So it's very simple things. Just make those simple tweaks and you see a massive difference.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. 1 hour is gone. I really appreciate it. Okay, Andrew, in just 1 minute, just summarize this in 1 minute. What advice would you give to immigrants who feel their skills are undervalued or overlooked in the UK job market?
Okay, awesome. That's a good question as well. I know Benedicta also mentioned some things, right, which will serve as an advice for those people that feels that their skills are undervalued, right? Yeah, so number one, I'm not trying to be rude, right? There are so many opportunities, right? Let's say if they don't take you because they feel that your skill is undervalued, there's another opportunity that will value your skill. You are in a job and they don't value your skill in that role, please don't limit yourself. That's the mistake most people do. And I completely understand. If you're on tier 2, thank God for global talent visa, right? If you're on tier 2 or you have that freedom, my brother, you can relate. You can relate.
I can.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, right? If you feel that your skills are undervalued in your current role, please leave that job, get another one. They will value you there.
Yeah.
There are so many things I won't want to be saying here, but that's just it. And that's why I thank God for global talent visa, right? I've got a couple of, like one of my clients that just got this thing, his global talent visa, told me that he's leaving his job to another one, right? Higher pay and more value.
Yeah.
But had it been he remained on this because he was working with his post-study visa, right? Though they were willing to sponsor him, but he wasn't happy with the job, right? Like he told me, Andrew, I don't see myself doing this for the next 5 years, right? But immediately he got this global talent visa. He told me, Andrew, I'm leaving this job. And second, you see that immediately he told the employer that he has got the global talent visa. You know, the HR now had to like, okay, please, is there anything you don't like about our job? Hope you're fine. You know, they try to, pay him and stuff like, which is not good, right? This is something they should have been doing before now. Maybe they knew that the guy is about to leave them, stuff like that. So please, if you feel that your skills are not valued, please start searching for another role. Even if you are on tier 2, I've seen someone on tier 2 switch job and they sponsored him. In fact, it was even the first job that brought him from Nigeria to here, right? But he knows what he's doing, but he feels that his skills are not value, right? Somebody will be very good on the role, no promotion, right? No salary increment after 3 years, right? And there are other companies messaging him, please, we like your profile, we like your profile. Please, do you want to come and help us? They were pleading, right? The guy has to leave, and they sponsored him as well. Please. Sorry,
Right.
I don't want to say much here,
okay.
to be honest. Yeah.
Benedicta, final thoughts. Let's run up so that we can leave.
So I'd say that much like what Andrea said, if you feel like you're not being valued, just go somewhere else. But sometimes it's also in your head, and maybe it's just that you haven't integrated well into a place. So I would say take time out to actually learn about the culture of the organization you're at. Sometimes we overthink these things, right? We start to think that somebody is against us. You need to know what your organization counts as success, right? For you to get promoted, for you to get better pay and all of that. If your organization, we have a culture of hard work. We think I will work hard, my work will speak for itself. No, work don't have mouths to speak for itself, right? Yes, they can see it, but maybe they judge other things and you're lacking in those other things. And nobody will put you in a leadership position if you have not shown leadership traits, right? It's going to do more harm than good. So sometimes it's actually take a step back and look at yourself. Are you doing what you need to do, right? Go ahead and try your best to actually learn the culture of your organization, learn the culture of the country that you're in. Yes, we are different. Obviously, when you see us, you know that we're obviously different. We are Black, and we have a different accent. We're completely different, right? But do your best to understand what the success criteria is everywhere that you're at, so that you can win the right way, not necessarily win the way that you think that you should be winning, maybe the way that you're judged in Nigeria. Yeah, so that's really what I would say. Learn the language of the place you're in.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. In summary, there are a lot of resources out there. Look out for those resources. Keep learning. There are bias, but don't focus on the bias. There's something in you that, probably a potential, and you need to focus on yourself. Work on selling yourself and focus on what you have done. Network, join community, get into the British culture. If you feel that your skills are not valued enough, look for something else and learn the culture of the organization. Thank you so much, Andrew, Benedicta. I appreciate it. I will allow you guys to enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace out.
Thank you. Bye, Andrew. Bye. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.